tank. Does he need to be enabled a little bit more, or is it him trying to be a little bit too aggressive?
There were a couple moments of over-aggression. I would just say, Gladiators Legion, pick who you want your carry in goats as far as you can carry in goats. Who you want to be giving the your primary resources to. Is that going to be your Winston? Are we going to go and see a little bit more Zarya? Oh my goodness! Far finds the head of Byram. This is massive.
It uses it just from a scope. Like, they just wanted to see what the team comp was,
spawn.
but got the headshot, and now they're going to have an advantage here going in there because Byram's going to be very far behind on that Transcendence as well. This is a 6v5 on the point, all because of Far's headshot. He's on Brigitte. He was on Widowmaker earlier, and if they take it, it's all on him.
Oh, it is absolutely off the back of some incredible eyesight from Far and some quick decision-making, just going for it, man. All the way from spawn, you catch that Zenyatta off, and Gladiators Legion able to capture this point A with barely any HP spilled.
Yeah, Far getting that headshot. NRG Esports didn't know what to do. Usually you use the scope to scout, and you switch your character depending on what kind of goats you do want to run, but Far took a couple pot shots and landed on one of them, and he wasn't even starting on this character already at 70% on that rally. Stand 1 does have that Earth Shatter Panker. Look how aggressive he's being, especially with that ally bubble. Stand 1 is down, so Gladiators Legion do have an opportunity to try to get to this point, but they do have to decide to engage. Gods is low. The Harmony Orb is trying its best to get those healing up.
Yeah, but there is... You can't go around it. There are 5 members on the attacking side, but soon that's going to be enough as 2 kills come through.
Gods and Pooks will be laying on the ground. The Transcendence wasn't there fast enough for Gods to stay alive. Gladiators Legion lost that Earth Shatter as well. Pooks is going to get in another ultimate and survive, almost survive another one. They really wanted that Lucio. NRG Esports bringing this back from the brink. 6 minutes and 22 seconds left for Gladiators Legion to come in here with a ton of resources and take point 2.
This is always such a dicey fight when you are the defenders, especially when you give up point A with so little hassle. You have to know that the enemy team has a huge ultimate economy advantage and is so crucial to stand your ground and defend this very first fight on point B. Gladiators Legion, I don't know if I agree with that 5-man push. The point B of Assault is not one of those maps where you can kind of just win things out by scrapping it out here, but God's going to try his best to run some distraction.
Oh, he's going to take the Primal Rage and try to disrupt the rest of NRG Esports and make sure their positioning is not stable. The Lucio trying to get away using those walls and that momentum. The Shield Bash is going to try to land onto Gods, and it doesn't. NRG Esports has Stand 1 on that Earth Shatter as well. Sound Barrier goes up for Gladiators Legion, and now we do have a Graviton Surge from NRG Esports and Gladiators Legion. Everyone throwing out their ultimates, but only trades happening right now. Both losing a support. That Earth Shatter will spell doom for Smex, but that self-destruct is going to be used. He's going to go down before he can get back into the mag. Gladiators Legion have the man advantage. Only 2 people left for NRG to contest this point.
Yeah, there will be a rally coming through from Azire, but you have to have a body on the point right there. Too few toes.
Yep, two, not a big toe.
Not a
Only
big
rocking
toe.
4 other toes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, just needed that extra big toe. The flail doesn't count either, unfortunately. No. Yeah, and so now they're going to have 5 minutes and 8 seconds in the time bank, finishing out Hanamura very, very fast. Again, I want to remind everybody that started with Far on a scouting Widow.
Pew, pew.
Just felt good about the shot and took it. Gladiators Legion then take point A and B in very fast time. NRG now looking to do the same.
Yeah, Far really living that motto, ooh, one shot, ooh, one kill. And that's all he needed. NRG, though, putting up a pretty good defense on the in that very last moment, but unfortunately, Byram did pop the Transcendence very early on, was forced to, getting put under pressure by Gods. He rejoins the team, throws out that Transcendence healing, but that means the ultimate is no longer available when Gladiators Legion commit to the fight wholeheartedly. And now NRG also need to finish out Hanamura. A lot easier these days than potentially in the past. May have some extra innings here, but NRG need to climb this mountain first.
Let's see if Hello, I'm Halo is going to throw out a Sonic arrow that somehow headshots someone on the other team, opening up the point for them.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be crazy? Pooks is just flying by, and what do you know?
Deja vu.
Flies right into an arrow.
Yeah, it's, sometimes it happens. Gladiators Legion feeling really confident right now. This is exactly what they needed after losing those other 2 maps.
Come back after the half. Hopefully you got some granola bars, some Capri Sun. You're ready, refreshed. And Dalton just, perched on the door. You can actually drop a Bastion on there.
Use a Maywall or some Metro Teleporter to get up there.
But no Maze or Symmetras. It's just going to be some old-fashioned goats from both sides once again. NRG going to likely be playing a little bit more of that shield game since they were not able to get a lucky headshot. We'll say a totally 100% skillful headshot right out of the gates. So again, shield mitigation, but oh no, Widowmaker. Byram says, hey, you know, we have some long distance damage.
We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. So this is a 6v5 for NRG Esports trying to get on to the objective, but the rest of NRG taking very, very low. Stan is below half health, needing a lot of that healing. As you can see, Byram at 60% already. Gladiators Legion stalling this out for their members to all come back here onto the point. Rolf will be back very, very soon, but Desire getting the kill on too far is going to make things a lot harder for them as they're going to be functioning a mat down for the rest of this fight. Gladiators Legion losing this slowly but surely. NRG Esports Rocket, look at Smek so low throughout a lot of that fight, but it's going to survive through it. Desire will have Rally, Byram will have Transcendence for this point B push.
This is a best case scenario for NRG right there, even though they did not have any hit scan. Byram never count out the Zenyatta, fired that volley, gave NRG again an instant man advantage in that fight, and they played it beautifully. Gladiators Legion, they just didn't have enough healing with just Pooks there, forced to give up that point A very quickly. But they do have Dalton's Graviton Surge online.
They're going to go ahead and throw it down. Transcendence will be the counter to that. NRG Esports losing one member, Gladiators losing one as well. Earthshatter not going to get anything as well. Gods and the rest of Gladiators Legion have to go back to the point, but now NRG Esports has the same decision Gladiators Legion had last time. Do you push as 5? Gods is making sure everyone is there, making absolutely sure no one's going on a sneaky flank. That's not gonna happen. Gladiators Legion now do have 4 ultimates. NRG Esports had an opportunity where Gladiators Legion didn't have any support ultimates, but now they do have what they need to counter this Graviton Surge. And now they're gonna go ahead and try to get back on it too. At the point, the Earthshatter are gonna get one, and Desire is gonna be all they need to push NRG Esports back to their spawn, but it looks like NRG is gonna try to get a little bit more ult charge for themselves.
Kevster, though, taking the long dive off a short cliff. NRG, they bided their time. A little bit of that good old-fashioned Hanamura standoff where neither of the teams really have the verticality to go and actually try and challenge each other, so they're just standing there waiting. But as you said, Boof, the defensive respawn so much closer for Gladiators Legion. NRG, even when they had their full 6-man Gladiators, had the time, the resources to plan out their, you know, defense right here, and they're going to be able to hold on to both of those support ultimates for this next fight.
They're going to amp it up, and that means they're going to try to engage or go on a different flanking path. They know where they're going now, so Gladiators Legion have an opportunity to figure out exactly how they want to deal with this defense. They're both pretty popped up on this ultimate economy. Smex have the self-destruct. Kevster has that Graviton Surge. Kevster's Graviton Surge could be setting up that bigger bang. The charge isn't going to get it. Oh, it does get stand 1. Sound Barrier going to come out really late from NRG Esports, only getting 4 members since they're already down at 2. That was a bit of an overinvestment.
Yeah, hello, I'm Halo, hesitating just slightly and getting punished for it. That was not the value that you would like to see from a Sound Barrier. You saw Kevster trying his best to wear down that shield, draw out God's defense matrix so the Graviton Surge wouldn't get gobbled up, but unfortunately he never had the opportunity. He was so low that entire time that a volley from across the map by Rolf was able to pick him apart. Both of the Zenyatas on either side really playing well right now, although it will be in the hands of these Zaryas most likely to make the biggest difference in this next fight. Another big drive-by from Gods. The whole team from NRG just deciding to go the same flanking route.
Byram forgot where the door was for a second. Clipped the corner. Oh, got some damage on there as well. Gladiators Legion have 4 ultimates. NRG will have 4 of their own. Rally will come up in no time. The self-barrier from Kevster is going to leave him a little bit helpless to try to get in position for this Graviton Surge. Self-destruct from Smex is going to be thrown out, and the remake will be available for it. The Graviton Surge now from Dalton is going to be the first one that we see, and then the bigger bang is going to pop off, but it's not going to get any kills. Transcendence was popped from Byram, but Gladiators Legion again winning this fight.
Oh, and you saw Kevster right there getting juggled back and forth between Pooks and Far, getting booped to his death. And NRG right now struggling to find any kind of opening in the Gladiators Legion defense. This is what Gladiators needed to finally put their foot down, start feeling that momentum. They're still cycling their ultimates really well. They'll have 2 up for this very next fight. So they're never going to be in that running on fumes situation with no threats behind this bluff. NRG, though, they're going to have their own Graviton Surge. Kevster has been holding this one so long, he surely has a cramp, so going to be looking for that perfect opening.
You gotta stitch it aside, just gotta take a deep breath and let it go. Kevster's Graviton Surge could be what they need to finally find that opening that you're talking about, but they gotta get there first. They have to identify what that is and then take it, or maybe even make a play. Kevster get taken down below the shielding already, but right now the supporters are just trying to get to those ultimates. The rally is there, so the damage mitigation says, hey, we're gonna try to take a little bit of space. They have knocked Gladiators Legion off of the high ground, but they're still just jostling for position.
Yeah, and you can see Kevster at 0 charge. Ideally, you want your Zarya to be very high charge before you throw that Graviton Surge to be the DPS that your team needs, but Gladiators Legion not feeding over any energy.
They're waiting for that shield to go down. They're trying to focus it down. Azire trying to get to that shield bash as well, but not able to get aggressive enough. They're focusing down when he gets close. Gladiators Legion now getting to those ultimates. The Earthshatter, though, is going to get 4 members of Gladiators Legion. NRG Esports getting 3 quick kills. It doesn't matter what those spawns are when all of the kills happen at once, especially when you have a zoning Graviton Surge there at the very end. NRG Esports find one opening, take it, and then take the 2 points.
NRG in the very last second. Gladiators utterly caught with their pants around their ankles, not expecting that aggressive of a push after NRG had been dancing, feinting back and forth for so long. The shield dropped, and Stan saw that, yeah, it was a great shield bash, saw that opportunity, laid down the hammer, and unfortunately, even with the bevy of ultimates that Gladiators had on hand, they weren't able to actually use any of them. Pooks dropping, that's got to be one of the most fruitless feelings in the world. You drop a sound barrier just on yourself, but you can't even touch the point because you're grabbed.
Can't use ultimates when you're dead.
Yeah, can't take it with you.
Yeah, it's a basic concept, you know, but that Earthshatter is where they make the play. You know, sometimes when you wait for an opening, it never comes, but you get one good shield bash Earthshatter combo, you win the point, just like NRG Esports did, but they are at a time bank disadvantage. Gladiators Legion have 5 minutes and 8 seconds, but first we're going to see NRG attack again. Yeah,
they did have the smaller time bank, so it's going to be their shot at the Big Apple first, and you know, some really good patient play from NRG so far. It seems to be, you know, kind of this idea that we don't want to just like smash all the Qs that we have. We're looking for that pinpoint moment where we're going to get maximum value. Of course, the question always is, when will that come? Will it ever come? For NRG, it came, you know, with just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock, so they may be going for a little bit more of an aggressive play here, try and make some of those opportunities happen themselves.
Gladiators Legion know what they have to do. They have 2 minutes and 10 seconds to stop NRG Esports. They really don't want them to take A. They already have half the time remaining, but if they do take A, things will become interesting for both teams once Gladiators Legion do take control of their attack. But we got to get through NRG Esports attack first, and again, they're just jostling for position. They're seeing where everybody is.
Byram's looking for headshots.
Yeah, Byram is looking for headshots, and now Kevster is going to try to assert himself with that particle barrier. Wasn't able to get a lot of charge off of that, but Panker is going to use the barrier from his Zarya to get aggressive and take Stand 1 down. This is going to force NRG Esports back.
Yeah, a simple shield bash from far caught Stand 1 away from the rest of the team, and Gladiators Legion able to bring that Reinhardt down in just a second. So NRG once again playing that patient game, but there's less than a minute and a half now remaining on the clock for this team to make something happen. They're still very far away from these ultimates as well, so at some point they're just going to have to speed boost through this choke.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. You're a seer, my friend. NRG Esports, so look at those health bars. A lot of them below half. Desire getting taken down very, very low, but somehow they get 2 kills to start this off. Hello, I'm Halo getting a double kill, so this is a 6v3. Oh no, it's a 6v2 on at the point right now. Gladiators Legion losing this. They're going to get 30 seconds after this locks to try to get the 4th point.
Ends up being a 6v0. NRG rushing the point there. Gladiators Legion once again maybe not expecting that speed coming through. So NRG, they have plenty of tools coming in. Rolf, though, to his credit, a cool veteran hand. We've known this guy. He's been playing Overwatch since, you know, open beta. So keeping that Transcendence for this point B fight, a very wise and patient move from that Zenyatta. It's going to be, you know, one of the few tools that Gladiators Legion have against NRG.
Since he was a wee lad.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh, I've been playing Overwatch.
That's exactly what he sounds like. Rolf with that Transcendence, though, could be exactly what Gladiators Legion needs to deal with the ultimates coming from NRG Esports, as Kevster does have that Graviton Surge. This will be the last fight we do see, unless this goes on, and it goes really quickly, actually. NRG Esports is going to use that Graviton Surge, and it will get eaten. Earthshatter going to knock Brigitte down onto the ground, but the Transcendence is going to keep everyone alive. Panker has the Earthshatter. Self-destruct, though, is is going to get him down. So there is going to be no Earth Shatter for Gladiators Legion. Sound Barrier going to get everyone except for Byram, who does have that Transcendence if they so choose to use it. Gladiators Legion now with those defensive spawns will be back soon. Overtime spawns will be coming into play here in about 15 seconds, but it doesn't seem to matter for NRG Esports as they continue winning these fights and will take the 4th point.
NRG just piled on until the Legion broke under that pressure. Unfortunately for Gladiators, even though they had all these tools and a really good Transcendence from Rolf to keep everybody up alive after Stan's Earth Shatter, it just didn't quite happen for them. It was actually a Graviton Surge eaten to start things off Transcendence here, but it's not just about getting that trans, but you need to be able to use that timing to convert into kills, and NRG took that opportunity. A well-placed self-destruct by Smex caught Panker, it landed right on top of his head. He wasn't quite sure where it was coming from, and without that main tank, once again, Gladiators Legion, you know, without a defense.
Far getting that shield bash. Well, they all need to get their shield bashes, right? So once that self-destruct comes, that's the only time you get an opening to get that Reinhardt shield down or a charge. And so those shield bashes so important for these Brigittes. While, you know, the visual and the auditory signal for those aren't very big, it is exactly what you need to open up all of those wombo combos.
Yeah. Counting the enemy's shield bash cooldown, it has become a critical part of playing GOATS really well, just like being aware of all the other abilities that the heroes have, counting that defense matrix. We saw, you know, the impact that it could have. A lot of eat and grabs so far this season 3, and these divas, they're still hungry.
Very, very hungry. You know, they love their buffets. Right, Graviton Surges, Blizzard sometimes.
Blizzards, yep.
Yeah, Widow headshots, unless you're far. And so far, it's going to try it again. Not going to get the headshot this time. That would have been awesome. That's how you create a legend for yourself. Gladiators Legion know what they're going into now, though, as the Widow has scoped them out. NRG Esports rocking that same GOATS comp that they are. But look at this, though, actually. Gladiators is going to be doing that double main tank. Yeah,
a great look once again. God driving deep into the back, buying a little bit of that space, and Stand 1 goes down.
Stand 1 is going to go down. This is going to be 6v5 for Gladiators Legion onto the objective. Smex getting into the backline, trying to peel for Byram so he can get his health and shield back. That's exactly what's going to happen. Desire actually very close to that rally. He's able to get it before he dies, which is not going to happen. The rest of the team is going to be a lot stronger because of it. Gladiators Legion looking very, very good here. Only 4 members remain for NRG Esports. Now is the time to go ahead and throw yourself off. Don't feed any ult charge to Gladiators Legion for this point B push.
Yeah, Gladiators Legion looking very deadly heading into point B. Stand 1 died so early on in that fight. He's only going to have 40% to that Earth Shatter to Panker, who already has that ultimate online. Gods, even though he himself did go down, provided crucial initiation for Gladiators to actually make it out of that choke without losing a member or those shields dwindling too far. You have a big Winston in your backline. There's this 800-pound gorilla. You cannot ignore him.
Panker getting taken down low as they tried to engage here. Graviton Surge is going to be thrown out, but 2 kills for NRG Esports. But the Earth Shatter is going to get a ton of them, mostly all of them. 4 people down from NRG Esports. Gladiators Legion are looking like they're going to grab this point. Transcendence is going to make sure that it happens. Stan is going to get the pin on it to a Panker, but that will not be enough. NRG Esports trying to get back onto this point. Self-destruct now going to be coming from behind. Is it going to get anybody? Yes, it does. It gets Gods. So they need these kills during these stalls because eventually the spawns will be coming in handy. Pirate's Transcendence is another great way to make sure NRG Esports comes back on it to this point. Now we're seeing 4 members from NRG on the point. With Stand 1 coming back, it's going to be a lot harder for Gladiators Legion to get this point. Sound Barrier now from NRG Esports and Gladiators Legion are going to come out at the same time, so they're functioning on the same level. Now we're going to see some traded kills. No Reinhardts on either side. This will benefit the defensive team.
Yeah, Gladiators Legion, they've lost their main tank, and finally they might have to just back off here, and indeed they're going to be beating a hasty retreat all off the edge of the cliff, not seeing any ultimate charge, but wow, Boop. That was, just want to say, Poogs, he has a really great Q finger. Press that sound barrier as Panker was being charged by Stand 1, saved that Reinhardt's life, but unfortunately he was brought so low. Gladiators Legion lost that main tank, and again, you can't take these point B assault objectives without the strength of your full team.
NRG Esports had stand once. Earthshatter will have grab, will have rally. Now we look at Gladiators Legion. Panker will have an Earthshatter, and Far will have a rally of his own. Earthshatter is going to go down to start things off here in the stairwell. Panker's going to get the charge kill onto Izire, but there's going to be a pin kill onto the Zenyatta. So now they're going to be trading these kills. 5v5 on both sides. NRG Esports will get the numbers advantage with Panker going down. Gladiators Legion are going to have another shot at this. They do have 2 minutes and 27 seconds left to try to get the last 2 ticks.
Ooh, and that was such a commitment from the Legion. They popped everything that they had. They needed to. They were caught in that small hallway with a very angry Reinhardt, and you have to be ready to use those supportive ultimates, try and burst out of that hallway, but unfortunately, Rolf just got caught out by that pin from stand 1, and that is a hero that you cannot afford to lose when you're attacking here on Hanamura. Rolf is really the only one who can provide any long-distance healing besides Far's single health pack. Pook's AoE not going to be enough to keep all of these tanks alive, so Rolf needs to stay.
Panker almost got charged into the wall. God's going to join the rest of his team on the high ground as NRG and Gladiators Legion are going to decide, hey, Gladiators Legion, you're going to have to come to the point and fight us. You're going to have to make that move. We are ready for you. As God's going to try to do just that. Earthshatter into the shield, not going to get anything. Primal Rage is available for Gladiators Legion. Panker's going to get the first kill. This is a 6v5, but in the past, NRG Esports has been able to come back from this. God's trying to isolate Zenyatta, but hasn't been able to do that. Sound Barrier coming from both sides again. So again, everyone functioning at the same level. Kemster taken very low, but the Graviton Surge was launched in time, but the damage isn't there. Smex has been demech'd, but now it's the decision. Does he go back to his spawn and get back into the mech? It looks like he will be doing that, and Transcendence is going to come out from NRG. Kemster will be getting that kill onto Far. They haven't even gotten to that second tick just yet. With Izire going down, though, there's going to be a lot harder opportunity for NRG to hold this, particularly now that Gladiators Legion are ahead on numbers.
Yeah, Gods is still alive, able to throw out that cleave damage here, and slowly these respawns not going to be quite enough. Dalton hurls that Graviton Surge into Byram just to try and seal the deal here. Izire 1 Brigitte versus the world. Smex, though, is able to make it back, but no Diva self-destruct to try and stall things out any longer. Hammond comes in now and Stan, big Earth Shatter, but there's a monkey in his way. He's not going to be able to apply any of that damage.
Far's rally is going to get popped as well, keeping everyone alive. NRG Esports had an opportunity, but they weren't able to get the damage into the rest of Gladiators Legion as they were laying on the ground, but they did take about 15 seconds off of the clock. This is going to be a little bit better for both teams as they're pretty much even going into this third round on Hanamura.
Yeah, it really does come down to some of these little micro movements. Both of these teams so evenly matched, even in their time banks. You can see, though, Panker really opened up this fight for Gladiators Legion with that pin kill onto Izire. As a Reinhardt playing Goats, you have so much pressure on your shoulders, but you can be such a difference maker for your team. Even if there's a sound barrier being dropped, you can still do massive damage if you can land those charges. There's nothing that the enemy team can do unless your Zarya has that ally bubble down on lock ready and to save you. Otherwise, you can find yourself in a man disadvantage very quickly. So Reinhardt's not just there for the shielding.
As well as does
walk forward.
Yeah, every other character in the game.
Hammer down, that's a big one. That's one of my favorites.
Well, hammer down. Well, it's really before it gets canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what happens every time I play
Story
right
of my life. I try to ult.
Keep going.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm dead again. It's the CC's fault. I'm Ryan. That's the song.
There
All right.
it is. There
yeah,
it is.
No.
That's legendary right there. We'll get you to rap here soon.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's going to happen. NRG Esports now on their attack have a minute on the time bank for themselves. 53 seconds. They have to just get on this point and try to take it. If they lose a fight, it has to be very fast, and then they'll get a second one. But most likely, we're only going to see the one fight.
Yeah, it is going to be very difficult. NRG, they like to play this calculated, patient game. They're likely only going to have one shot to make this count. 37 seconds now as NRG take that high ground. They're trying to rotate, and yeah, Panker goes down.
Oh, with Panker down, Gladiators Legion doesn't have a lot of defense to take NRG Esports attack right now. So NRG Esports is going to pop up shop on the objective right now, and Gladiators Legion are going to suffer some casualties because of Noah shielding from a Panker. It's a long walk back from spawn onto this first point. NRG Esports is looking really good. They will be taking this first point, Ham.
Panker went down first, but actually Byram, who's been amazing, a standout player for NRG throughout this series, took down Pooks, crossed the field as well with a big volley. So everybody on NRG really pulling their weight right now, and they're going to have so many ultimates ultimates moving into point B. Stand ready with that Earthshatter. Byram close to that Transcendence. Gladiators Legion, I'm not quite sure, you know, what the game plan is going to be here, because this looks like a very dangerous losing situation.
They could have 2 score ultimates. Rally could come online. What a beautiful charge kill onto Hello on Halo. He's either trying to bring things back, but it's not going to work. The Graviton Surge is going to get everybody up from Gladiators Legion. Transcendence will be popped from both teams. Now they're looking just for 1 tick. Smex has been D-Max, so the tankiness of NRG Esports is taking some depletion right now. NRG Esports not close to any ultimates after that Transcendence. With the rally going down from afar, Gladiators Legion are going to be popped up. They have everything they need to defend this. Overtime wick is over, but NRG are able to grab that first point.
That's a crucial bit of cushion that NRG have bought themselves, but I just want to point out once again, Panker putting his team on his back right here. If he had not been able to get those 2 kills right there, it would have been a done deal for this defense, but Panker coming up big once again on this Reinhardt. Seems a lot more comfortable on this hero potentially than he has been on the Winston, but he has been such a big difference maker for Gladiators Legion so far.
Well, he had to come back because he was the first one to die on that point A. He's the reason why they lost A and the reason why they didn't lose B. You know, that's a clean slate in my book.
Exactly. You're starting at a neutral 0.
Yep, exactly. So on Santa's, Nani, or Nice list, it's neither.
Yeah.
At this point, that's almost for me. I don't know if I like that.
So how would you feel? Just like a non-factor?
No, that's like my worst fear. Anyway, NRG Esports still up 2-0 here. They're looking to avoid the reverse sweep from Gladiators Legion. Gladiators Legion looking to take exactly that, 3 games in a row. They have 1 minute and 17 seconds to take point A. They'll get 30 seconds after that, and then they need 1 tick on point B.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough ask for the Legion, but far, you know, on this Widowmaker once again in spawn, and you never quite know. This guy sometimes just pulls out a couple miracles, but Panker showing that Winston early on. Gladiators maybe taking a very aggressive push at this point, recognizing that they have to be matching NRG's pace.
Let's look at that far percentage there. We just seen some scouting for that no contact just yet. Dalton's going to be scouting as well. Rolf did get a volley, like a 13%, so there was some contact made from him, so he was the one that got the long distance damage. Not far, we'll give him some credit. NRG Esports now know that they only have to win this 1 fight in order to win at this map and at this game. Here we go, Amped Up is there. God's going to try to get into the backline, but he has moved back in front of the tank. That's actually some really good disruption, but it doesn't seem to matter as Sand 1's going to be the first to fall and get first blooded from God. Smex has the Discord Orb on him, but the D-Mech is not going to happen. The rest of NRG Esports are actually pretty healthy right now. Gladiators Legion is the same. God's getting taken down below half health. The shield dash is there, but the armor pack is too, keeping him alive. Look at this. God's really popping off right now.
Oh, he's popped all the way back to respawn, but Gladiators Legion have taken up positioning on this point. You have a Desperation Hammond rolling in from stand 1. Less than ideal potentially, but Gladiators, they've been trying to focus on getting these kills, but in the meantime, that means that you're not accruing any point percentage. 10 seconds left, and they must win this fight.
This is actually a really good stall from NRG Esports, but what this means also is Gladiators Legion will have ultimates coming into point B, but so will NRG Esports. The boot kill onto Panker is going to make their next push a lot harder. They will get him back. They will take this point, but Gladiators Legion are going to have to take 1 tick on the second.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an inevitability that NRG would give up this point, but they still have 1 tick to cushion themselves from a loss here. This is the series life on the line for NRG. They're up 2-0 right now, Boop. If they're able to defend here on Hanamura, they're that much closer to playoffs.
All they need is a draw. If they get this draw, NRG Esports will win this map set. Gladiators Legion trying to stop that from happening. Far gets taken down below half health. They're able to focus him down. Looking really, really hard. Kepster's going to be knocked down on the ground from the Earthshatter. Transcendence going to keep him alive. Kepster's going to drop that Graviton Surge, get 3. Bigger Bang is an opportunity. Shield Dash is going to be there. Panker is going to be down. Transcendence now from Gladiators Legion. Sound barrier from both teams, so no more support ultimates on either side. Graviton Surge now going to get all of the energy in that unwilling hug. So there's going to be not enough damage there. God's going to get demeched here in just a second. The shield dash was on him, so it's going to be another 6 seconds before Brigitte from NRG does have that shield dash, but that won't matter as Gladiators Legion falling in the end. NRG Esports are going to get the draw here, which gives them the victory overall.
NRG able to beat down the Legion. An amazing series from this team that, you know, a lot of people did not expect to take this win. Really good tenacity, very good calculated, disciplined plays from NRG, making the difference.
And so what do you think the difference maker actually is, right? Like, we can talk broadly about them making a difference, but who's doing it?
I would say it's a combination of a lot of factors. Byram, certainly, if you have a Zen with that kind of aim in the backline, give him enough time, he's probably going to find a couple of heads. It's been, he's opened up fights more than once. Beautiful Transcendence timing as well. The thing with playing Zenyatta these days is that a lot of times, in order to stay safe away from all of that CC, you're so far away physically from the body of the fight, away from your team. So being able to get that Transcendence timing, you have to basically be premonitioned. You need to know which tanks are about to die before they even take that damage in order to actually make it there soon enough to apply some of that Transcendence healing. So Byram, certainly a big difference maker on the side of NRG. But I do have to say as well, Gladiators Legion kind of helping NRG a little bit. I think that it came across most clearly in that round 4 Hanamura point A take. Gladiators Legion had such a massive advantage. A big early pick onto the main tank should mean an easy win. But, you know, maybe they were actually just biding their time too much. They had an opportunity to go at the team without any of that static shielding, but instead they chose to kind of dance around the point. Nobody was actually on there, not even Lucio, getting that, accruing that percentage quickly. So by the time Gladiators Legion actually did capture that point, you already had NRG with plenty of ultimates generated. You even had time for Stan 1 to come back to point A as a Hammond. So you know that maybe the focus fire not 100% there. In those overtime situations when you don't have a lot of time to play with, focus on the objective.
Yes. Sound advice. Stand 1 at the beginning of that clip you just saw, where it was able to pin Panker immediately, taking him out of the fight. There wasn't enough healing. He was functioning with like a quarter health, had to be behind the rest of the team, and that's exactly why we see NRG taking that first point. That's going to be all that they needed, ending this in a draw in a map win for them, or set win for them, a 2-0 against Gladiators Legion. That means a lot in the playoff standings, but because of that draw, that actually helps Gladiators Legion in terms of map win-loss differential.
Yeah, it's not going to be the full loss. We still have more series, more sets to come our way today, but Dorado is going to be an opportunity for Gladiators Legion to lick their wounds a little bit, maybe add one of those map wins to their pockets, as this is Streets phase, really favors that verticality. We might see Gods on the Winston to a little bit more success this time.
And so, you know, there was a lot of success on Gods' Winston last week. You know, there was some success at the beginning of their first push. Gods was the one that got 2 kills. I think I said he was popping off right before he did die. And so he got those 2 kills. They had the numbers, but in the end, they couldn't put it all together. That seems to be a pattern for them.
Yeah, Gladiators Legion, it's like kind of like when a dog is chasing a mailman. It's like, what do I do if I actually catch him? Right? I keep chasing, and then when it actually happens, the opportunity presents itself. Maybe that's where the communication starts to fall apart just a little bit.
Just take all the mail.
Just take,
right? Put them on all the wrong mailboxes.
You have the mind of a hooligan.
You know, I do have some awesome dogs, and I'm sure that's how they would do it. But anyway, now that we're going to game 4, which is going to be on Dorado, NRG already winning this series. But again, the map win loss, you know, it seems like a broken record, but it is so important for Gladiators Legion right now to get every point they can. So they are going to be dropping to 1 and 2 because of this loss, and you really want 3 wins to secure your place in the playoffs. They will have some other games, of course, to get that back, as they have faced a couple hard teams already, but you know, you want to take this into your own hands. Let's get the victory here. Let's go into next week winning that last match.
Exactly. It is going to bolster that team mentality, keeping that positivity throughout the season. Like you said, it is not done and dusted yet for Gladiators Legion. You got to, you know, bulk up, pull on those reserves of endurance and stamina. Yeah. Deep breaths. Exactly, because this middle part of this Group B is actually quite packed. It's very competitive. We see, you know, take control between these two teams. The very first map, so back and forth. And so that just really means that there's a lot of opportunity to make a name for yourself as a team here in the very middle of the pack. Skyfox is unfortunately kind of a little bit occupying the bottom. XL2 is, you know, on the top, but in the middle, it could be anybody's game. Exactly. What do you want to be? Salami? Ham? Bologna? There's so many options.
I want to be ham.
Oh, you.
But we are on Dorado right now. Gladiators Legion looking to get their only map win so far. NRG Esports has those 3 points. They ended up winning Hanamura. But now that we're here on Dorado, are we going to see anything special from Gladiators Legion?
Play Widowmaker. I mean, we know that Far is such a capable Widowmaker player, and it's just good to, you know, shake things up. Goats does have more consistency. That's undeniable. But, you know, you don't have to go all the way with cheese in order to bring a surprise. We've seen teams before hold on Dorado with different comps. Tracer, Widowmaker from Uprising comes to mind. So Gladiators Legion certainly have the ability to bring something new to the table with success.
Far can play Widowmaker. Yeah, we learned that earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, got that one headshot. That was a highlight for Gladiators Legion, you know, in general. But now that the gates are going to be opening, we're going to see what is familiar to all of us, our favorite animal, the kids, the goats. Hey, I finally got it in there. But now the goats comps from both teams. Let's look at Gladiators because they're the one that's doing double main tank. They're not going to be doing it this time as Gods is on that diva that he is known for. They're going to, you know, a lot of teams have actually held up really close here on Dorado, and NRG are finally going to start doing that as Smex and Stand 1 are behind the team, setting up a crossfire, which is very interesting in a Goats comp, because all you have is Zenyatta and Diva to do that. But now NRG Esports is going to try to get into the back line. Discord Orb was on the Zenyatta, wasn't able to get the kill, Stand 1 was, but with Far going down, it's going to be a lot easier to get to Rolf in the end. Gladiators Legion having a hard time breaking through, but this charge on the Stand 1 makes this a 5v5 with the spawn advantage for Gladiators Legion. As you see, NRG Esports giving them a little bit extra space. The Diva on the top. Oh, Smex is actually going to get Panker there, so this is all even for NRG.
Yeah, this is the advantage you have when you run dive tanks against a Reinhardt Zarya Goats composition. You can get out of dodge. You saw the way that Stand 1 and Smex were playing around Gladiators Legion. You have all this static shielding, but I have mobility. Stand 1 dropped into the middle of the team, got that cleave damage, and then just jumped right out of there. And then the same with Smex, the drive-by shooting with the Diva boosters, and there's very little that Gladiators Legion can do except eat that damage and then try and return it. But the question is always going to be, how are you actually going to catch one of these divers?
They were trying to eat that grab. Kester is able to get it on it to the payload, but with the support ultimates, the only thing that's going to get the kill is going to be Smex, because Self-Destruct don't care about your support ultimates.
Oh, no.
Gladiators Legion now has a Self-Destruct of their own as well as that Graviton Surge, but are they going to invest in it as everyone is low? Dalton will be throwing that Graviton Surge right before he does die. Self-Destruct is in the back line. The particle barriers are there, and so are the shields, but now no one close to ultimates on NRG Esports, so this next push for Gladiators Legion is looking like their best opportunity to continue on this payload.
It is. They've finally gotten some of their own ultimates. Panker ready with that Earth Shatter, but again, NRG likely going to be expecting this ultimate coming their way, so Stand 1, Smex, everybody going to be playing extremely split apart, so even if Panker catches one of them, it's only going to be one or two, and they may be able to mitigate some of that damage. Every time you see Panker take a step forward, a big gorilla lands in his backline, and he has to take 2 steps back. It's been a very frustrating push for Gladiators Legion so far. 1 minute and 45 seconds left.
The Discord Orb is on a Rolf in the backline, but the armor almost wasn't enough. Panker's going to use the Earth Shatter, knock a lot of people down from NRG. Only a Zenyatta in the backline is the one doing damage, but Stand 1's going to continue utilizing that Rolf kill to their advantage. There's not going to be a Discord Orb for Gladiators Legion just for a little while longer. Smex very, very close to that Self-Destruct. He's going to want that before eventually that defect does happen. Stand 1 has that Primal Rage, will be knocking Gods off of the map. NRG Esports, while having no ultimates at the beginning of this fight, will have a ton for the next one.
Yeah, and it's not just the ultimates to NRG's name. Once again, really good positioning and disruption from Stand 1, recognizing that the Earth Shatter did come through, but that means everybody's going to be trying to push forward to apply damage. Nobody's going to be keeping an eye on the backline. Leapt in there, sowed that destruction, and actually going to force Panker onto his own Winston for the Gladiators' last push.
Smex has the Self-Destruct, finally was able to get it. Doesn't matter how much health he has now, because Self-Destruct can push everyone off the payload if there's only 50 seconds left. Push the Self-Destruct onto the ground and does get a double kill off of it. Smex with that 2K on that Self-Destruct. NRG Esports is going to be an unbreakable wall for Gladiators Legion right here on Dorado.
Who would have thought that a Winston bubble could be so incredibly strong? NRG made of concrete right now, and Gladiators Legion been tossing just pebbles at them, and they haven't found a way to break through. Byram's still going to have that Transcendence online, even if Dalton gets a Graviton Surge within this very last push. This is not looking good for Gladiators Legion.
Hello, I'm Halo. Also will have that Soundwave. Byram taken very low. The armor is gone from Byram. The Transcendence was almost pushed out. Stand 1 with the Primal Rage comes online just in time to save himself, but that health is dwindling. Oh no, the support is there. What am I talking about? But the fisticuffs are going to be thrown on the high ground now to knock Panker off and disrupt his movement. Self-Destruct now under the bridge. Nothing's going to get it from it. Gods, but Panker is going to get the first kill of this fight onto Kepster, so those particle barriers are going to be unavailable for the rest of the NRG Goats composition. Desire is going to go down, but even though NRG Esports are going to lose this fight, Gladiators Legion have to deal with one more defense.
Yeah, NRG have been holding up so close, so aggressive. They bought themselves one more shot to defend here and potentially full hold Gladiators Legion. You saw actually there Byram just tucked up in the corner trying to be one with the wall. Didn't quite work out that time, but once his counterpart Hello I'm Halo gets back into the fight, he can apply that sound barrier. Should NRG try and touch? No, they're going to be going for the safer bet on Street Space.
I think the overtime spawn is actually the thing that got them in at the end, unable to make it back to defend. And wow, look at this. Stand 1 get taken very, very low. Somehow is still alive. Uzair does have the rally. We'll pop that at any given moment because that's what you can do as a Brigitte with that rally. You can use it, but using it during the fight. Exactly. When you use it during the fight, you can maximize that inspired healing. But now, Stand 1 is going to get into the backline, try to get that tickle damage in. The particle barrier is going to get onto Panker, who takes Byram very, very low, but they were unable to take him down. He's going to get really close to that Transcendence, and it's going to be enough for the rest of NRG Esports to continue going on at this defense. But no, Byram does go down before the Transcendence can be popped. Hello, I'm Halo, though, does have that sound barrier that could be enough for whatever Gladiators Legion throws at them as Dalton's coming back from spawn.
Dalton coming back. Now Will has that Graviton Surge. Gladiators Legion throwing everything that they have into this fight. NRG meeting them ult for ult, and now Stand 1 able to take down a Brigitte of all heroes just with his massive forearms. Graviton Surge. Now it is Gladiators Legion's time to go for that bigger bang combination. They don't even need it.
They don't need it at all, as they're going to get 2 kills here on the street space of Dorado. Gladiators Legion not losing a member in that fight. NRG Esports will be back in time this time, I promise, to get another defense going. And this is where a lot of teams get held up. It's actually right before they capture the point.
Yeah, there's so many ways to engage upon this objective. You can go around into the hallway, off the bridge, use that high ground. There's a lot of ways to attack this. So as the defenders, you have to be ready for anything. Byram in particular still has that Transcendence online. No ultimates though coming their way from Gladiators. They're gonna have to do this with just 45 seconds left, hoping for the best.
Yeah, NRG took a lot of time off the clock on that first defense. Byram's gonna have to use that Transcendence as it was forced out because of Panker's focus. So now Panker will be taking advantage of because of that aggressiveness. No Winstons on either side, no more bubbles, so these self-destructs could be big. There are no Reinhardt shields to stop them. Far is gonna go down. The Gods is gonna be de-mech'd as well. So there's gonna be 24 seconds left for Gladiators Legion to come back onto the payload.
And NRG pressing their advantage right here. They know any pick that they get is going to be so good, likely deny Gladiators Legion even the chance to touch this payload, start overtime once again. But if they can, there are so many tools online. They just need to get a body onto that cart. Graviton Surge, both Pook's and Rolf's ultimates online. NRG themselves investing heavily, not going to have anything.
It's scientifically proven once overtime starts, every team gets better. So Gladiators Legion are looking to make sure that science does take place. They do have 3 ultimates. Dalton's going to use that Graviton Surge. Kevster's going to have to use that particle barrier on himself, but it's not going to work. God's taken very low, close to that self-destruct, and that's going to be what they need to maybe break through and grab this second point. Byram again bullied by Panker, but Panker unable to get the kill again. This is deja vu for him. Stand 1 getting taken down very, very low, but because Byram has that Transcendence, everyone on NRG Esports has full health, as does Gladiators Legion, but the sound barrier is going to happen right after that. That's exactly how you don't layer those ultimates. That's what you want to see. Gladiators Legion doing the same thing, so no ultimates on either side. With Byram going down, no Discord Orb, no Harmony Orb for them. Gladiators Legion have the advantage. They will be taking this point.
That is how you maintain momentum with your support ultimates. Gladiators Legion able to hold their hand just a little bit later than NRG, give themselves that minute advantage indeed, Boop. And Gladiators Legion now, they've given themselves 2 points here on Dorado, looking a lot more solid, but it was a very difficult battle. NRG able to bend with all and absorb all of the aggression that Gladiators has been trying to unleash upon them with very little effect. You saw Panker diving deep in the backline. The damage though, the peel from NRG just too great. He couldn't overstay his welcome, go down himself, and so the Zenyatta lived.
All right, so NRG Esports are going to show their hand now with that Graviton. The third self-destruct is out as well. They're going to push it down. Oh, that looked like it would be a good self-destruct now from Gladiators Legion. Not going to get anything as well. Kessler, though, have that opening kill, so it's a 6v5 for NRG. There's 44 seconds left for Gladiators Legion. The best thing to do now is just a full reset, feed yourself to the other team, and then go try one more time.
Beat a very hasty retreat so that they can give themselves one more go at this point. Panker going to have that Earth Shatter online. NRG, they are very far away from any of those supportive ultimates ultimates, so you have to be a little bit wary, yeah, as is Zenyatta, even this far away from the rest of the team. But NRG, they're trying to hold Gladiators Legion at bay. They're actually going to invest Transcendence just to try and get close to the cart.
The Earth Shatter and the pin onto Dalton, going to take him down with them, so, but that's going to be 2 kills for Gladiators Legion. The Graviton Surge now getting 2 people, 1 behind the wall, 2 in front. Oh, Kevster's going to get knocked down from the Earth Shatter. Not a lot going on right here on the payload. Sound Barrier was invested in this just in case. It was a unique decision, if I so say so myself.
Yeah.
NRG Esports, though, will be able to come back even with those overtime spawns.
Yeah, and they now will have the advantage in terms of defensive ultimates. Gladiators Legion will really be wishing that they had a little music to as they ride into this last overtime push.
Some lo-fi hip-hop and chill beats. NRG Esports now does have that Transcendence on the line. That's all they really need to stop Gladiators Legion right now. But Stand 1 will die. The Transcendence was late. Hello on Halo also has that Sound Barrier, but a pin kill is not going to care about that Transcendence. The Sound Barrier is going to come also pretty late. NRG Esports had what they needed to stop Gladiators Legion here on Dorado, but it don't matter. Gladiators Legion going to get the 3 points.
Maybe a little bit of a case of trying to min-max too much. NRG had plenty of tools, but unfortunately this time around, when it really did matter, they were unable to meet Gladiators Legion's force with their own defense here, buckling finally, and Gladiators will get that Dorado map finish. This is, you know, what you would really be hoping for here. Even if NRG finish things out, you bought yourself a couple of extra innings.
And again, map win-loss matters so much. That draw in the end of the season may actually be the difference maker on if they make playoffs or not. NRG Esports, though, going to try to deny them that opportunity by winning Dorado. Gladiators Legion got all 3 points on their push with no time left on the clock. Off the back, some good tank play. Panker finally popping off, but what I like there at the end was Rolf on that Transcendence, just completely bodying the entire team, escorting the rest of Gladiators Legion onto the payload.
Yeah, certainly unexpected. We talk a lot about ultimate management, about positioning, but another key point, another key important part of playing GOATs is that tempo. And one of the ways that you can take the enemy off guard is by using one of your defensive ults in an aggressive way to try and escort your team onto the payload. As you said, Boop, speed boost and Transcendence. Nobody's going to be harming any of these Gladiators as they make their way onto the cart. NRG, you know, getting bowled over there in the very last second.
I like bowling. That's a sport that I feel like more people should play.
I was gonna say that's a sport that I could be good at, I think.
I think you'd be a good bowler.
Yeah, thank you. That's very flattering.
I think you'd average like a 150. That's all right.
That sounds good.
Out of 300, it's half.
Yeah.
NRG Esports now going to open up their attack. 3 minutes and 52 seconds to start. I don't know why I told you guys the time. It's the beginning of the round. But now NRG Esports going to be working up to those ultimates, as is Gladiators Legion. As of right now, they're kind of just seeing each other. This is the main purpose of this beginning game here. It's just see, hey, what team comp are you running and how are we going to respond?
Yeah, it's actually going to be Mirror Reinhardt's this time around on NRG's attack. Gladiators Legion going to be sticking Panker on that Reinhardt where he does seem a lot more comfortable. NRG actually going for the long high ground rotation right here, trying to go for that vertical superiority, dropping down in front of the payload.
Love it. Vertical superiority is going to be the name of someone's autobiography in Overwatch, I am sure. Gladiators Legion struggling on this defense so far. They are going to get a lot of defense on, a lot of offense onto NRG Esports. A lot of their health is going down. They're not going to be able to confirm any of those kills. Basically just feeding ultimate charges on both sides right now. But who will be the first to that grab? They're pretty much tied.
But Kevster with a little bit of fancy footwork finds
fancy.
A little too fancy.
Yeah.
God's putting
Watched
him.
Footloose recently. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, my feet move weird.
Yeah. But God's putting him back in spawn for a little bit more practice. Gladiators Legion, they found a little bit the crucial defense right here. This is one of the prime places to hold right underneath this bridge. NRG gonna have to take a lot of damage just walking through this chokehold, and NRG gonna be hoping that they don't take too much damage. They have time to use some of those ultimates. Gladiators Legion gonna be salivating at the thought of getting a big shatter.
Oh, the shatter is gonna come from Gladiators Legion. No salivation there as no one gets hit from it. Graviton Surge now coming from Gladiators Legion as well. Going to be countered by NRG Esports. Graviton Surge of their own. No kills happening on either side. It's Earthshatter only going to get Gods. A lot of ultimates going on from both sides. Sound Barrier going to be coming off from NRG Esports now. Self-Destruct's not getting anything on both sides. Now we're in vanilla Overwatch. This is an aim game right now and a Reinhardt game. Those hammers going to be doing most of the damage. Far going to get the kill onto Izire. So NRG is functioning with 5 people, but so is Gladiators Legion right now. I think Panker is a better kill than it is for NRG, for Gladiators Legion on that Izire, but Panker is going to be back here soon. But without Panker, the rest of Gladiators Legion struggling to maintain any presence on this defense.
Yeah, just a couple of squishies left guarding this payload, and they won't be too long for this world as NRG finally punch their way through to that point A. And you're absolutely right, Boop. When you're running Mirror Goats compositions, Rein v. Rein, you really don't want to trade your own Reinhardt for anything less than the enemy Rein. Even a Brigitte is not going to be as good of a kill. That shield is just so important, and not to mention all of that hammer damage. Stand 1, though, is going to have that Earth Shatter for this very next fight, but Gladiators Legion do have the high ground, NRG, and have the ability to drop down onto their unsuspecting heads at a moment's notice.
They do have the high ground. You know how much I love the high ground, and Gladiators Legion are going to go ahead and drop, and that's going to be a gravity tragedy. If I say so myself, they lose the high ground, they're going to lose their bodies back to spot.
Yeah, a big Graviton Surge sealing the deal right there for NRG, and things looking really easy for them here on Streets phase. Oftentimes it is going to be the third point where teams get caught up if they don't at this point B defensive area. Gladiators Legion, they have plenty of tools once again, but you can't just smash Q and hope for the best up against a team like NRG who have really started to prove themselves in this series.
Gladiators Legion will have 5 ultimates, possibly 6. NRG are going to have 5 of their own. So just like the last fight, this one's going to be full of ultimates and full of aggression. Rally down coming from Gladiators Legion. NRG Esports is going to drop their self-destruct and actually get 2 members of Gladiators Legion while they're behind on that ultimate economy. It doesn't matter. And self-destruct from Smex getting 2. I was wondering when that was going to happen because Smex has been big on those self-destructs in the past. We're going to see it on Dorado.
Yeah, he's definitely catching up to Gods in terms of self-destruct kills coming at those crucial moments, and NRG going to be able to get that point B. A couple of unfortunate spawns for Gladiators Legion. Stand 1 trying to work up to yet another Earth Shatter, set up another big combo to try and get this Dorado finish for the team.
I like the corner peak hammer smash just for that, 4 percentage points of ultimate charge.
Every percentage point matters.
It really does. NRG Esports now has a sound barrier, nothing else. Gladiators Legion has 3 ultimates, sound barrier of their own, a self-destruct and a Graviton Surge. And now they did see the defense matrix go off, so he could use that Graviton Surge pretty safely. Self-destruct now from God's going to try to do exactly what Smex did earlier, but it won't be happening. Sound barrier going to be launched from NRG Esports in counter to that Graviton Surge. Izire, though, will be getting the first blood of this fight. Panker is down. We talked about it before. You get rid of that Reinhardt, you get rid of the team.
Yeah, getting bodied right here is the Gladiators Legion defense. Saw Izire and Stand 1 taking opposing angles to try and make short work of Gladiators Legion, and now they're going to be rolling into this point, expending just that Earth Shatter in the very last fight, as well as that sound barrier, of course. But there's plenty of combos ready. Kevster here with the angle, looking, just peeking.
NRG Esports all on fire right now. So get some of that aloe vera, my friend. They are burning up. Gladiators Legion going to use that Earth Shatter, though, and take down Izire and Kevster. So they had the aloe vera, and they just gave it to them.
Exactly.
What great friends. Gladiators Legion will be taking this fight. NRG Esports are going to have to try again.
Slathering on that burn, but NRG aren't afraid of getting a little bit tan right here. They were able to draw out ultimates from Gladiators Legion, and with the payload as close as it is to that third point, they know they likely only have to have one clean fight. The third points of these escort maps almost playing like an assault point B, where you really need that clean wipe. But with that knowledge, you can start banking up those ultimates for the all-out fight.
NRG Esports has 4 ultimates that will be online before this fight begins. Gladiators Legion only having the 1, possibly 3 with Dalton and Gods getting very close to theirs. They are over 70%. Charge is going to go on both sides. Earthshatter now going to go down for NRG Esports. Far will be down. No Brigittes on either side. Now Panker's turn for an Earthshatter. Are they going to confirm any kills? It does not look like it. Only 1 person is on the payload so far. The rest of the fight is going to join them as Panker is going to go down. And if history repeats itself, this means Gladiators Legion and the rest of them will be going back to spawn. Self-destruct going to happen in front of the shield, so NRG Esports are going to get on this payload and get to the yellow box of victory.
Far getting bodied away, not even going to be able to touch to buy that single second off a really great play right there. You saw Kevster biding his time, waiting for Panker to go down before launching the Graviton Surge for a surefire win. This could have been the place where you saw a lot of ultimates flying from NRG, and indeed we did have the Earth Shatter and the Self-Destruct invested, but Kevster wisely holding on to that Graviton Surge for the late fight when Gladiators Legion was already in tatters. Nobody's in the right positioning. There isn't any shielding left, and there we have it. God's Mech not going to be stalling out the payload. The Graviton Surge just, giving NRG a free ride into a map finish.
Kevster knew there were no support ultimates on the other side. If Pooks had a sound barrier, he would have used it already. And so knowing that there is free reign for damage on the opposing team, throwing out that Graviton Surge in that endgame fight scenario gives them those 3 points. Gladiators Legion has a minute on their attack. NRG Esports has 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Gladiators Legion really need to win this map.
Yes, it's going to really help them get a little bit closer to the middle of the top of that sandwich that is Group B right now. NRG, though, have to be feeling really confident. Even though they struggled maybe at times on point A to get that momentum rolling, they were able to finish out the map with considerably more time. Gladiators Legion, though, as you said, Boop, it is science. We believe in it. Build 9. But anytime you have that overtime, we could see Gladiators Legion just light up and everything start going their way. We know that Panker has that carry potential with this Reinhardt, and we're going to be hoping to see him pop off.
Smek saw Pooks go into the back right there, try to get him out, but the rest of Gladiators Legion are going to give him a little bit more ult charge on top of this building. No one's trying to dislodge at this point, but I like how close NRG Esports is holding right now. When you have a minute left, losing a fight here is not that big of a deal for the defending team. NRG Esports, they're going to finally get, give them a little bit of space, and looks like Stand 1 wants to be pretty aggressive, but God is going to take that opportunity away from them by getting that pick onto Byron, and the rest of Gladiators Legion are going to follow suit and get some picks as well. Dalton going to be the main person getting those last hits, and that means that with 50% on that Graviton Surge, he's catching up to Kevster.
Yeah, and this is going to be an overtime push, so I do like that Wolf is on the Moira. You apply a lot of burst healing. You know that there's no enemy on the defensive side, so that anti-nade not going to be nullifying any of that. And check out this ultimate generation. He's going to have a coalescence within this next fight, a major power spike that this GOAT's composition sorely needs.
Yeah, that defense matrix isn't going to stop that. Coalescence is going to burn right through. The coalescence has been launched and is chewing through the health bars of NRG Esports, who don't have any ultimates to defend against it. Earthshatter going to get the confirmation kills on it to Izire. The Graviton Surge was invested from NRG Esports in this fight. That was an over-investment. They're going to want that one for later. As Gladiators Legion don't have any support ultimates coming into this next fight.
Oh, they used everything to get that point A. A good decision, I would say. It's better to get point A now than all the what-ifs of if I had held back that supportive ultimate for the future. But they do have to know that they're coming up against a well-stocked pantry of ultimates on the side of NRG, who have both of those supportive ultimates, if nothing else, to buy more time for that clean team wipe.
We are in overtime. This means that every piece of distance doesn't matter for Gladiators Legion. They've already taken the first point. That is a big deal for them, as they did have less time on the clock than NRG Esports. Ultimate's going to throw out that Graviton Surge. Self-destruct coming from NRG Esports is going to get Gods in at the back line. Gladiators Legion now is going to be their energy is going to use that Earth Shatter now against Gladiators Legion. Byron's going to get Panker, and this is not looking very good for Gladiators Legion on this attack. They were able to grab that 4th point, though. That might be enough to take NRG Esports down in the end.
This is going to all hang on how well Gladiators Legion can defend this point. Byron coming in hot once again for his team, throwing in that extra little bit of damage once the pesky shield of Panker was out of the way. You see right here, it is always so tricky in these overtime scenarios. Was that pin worth it? It put Panker out of position even while it secured the kill onto Kevster, opened up that Earth Shatter for Stand 1, and a lot of times nowadays with these Mirror Goats compositions, it is kind of just that chess game of ultimates. You always have to have, a little something in your back pocket and try at your best to read the enemy a couple steps ahead. Certainly though, easier said than done when you are in those high pressure overtime situations. And regardless, Gladiators Legion have bought themselves one more point.
Well, a lot of people have described that GOATS interaction as chess before. It's, you got to be 3 moves ahead as well. If you're you're looking at the current game, you're already falling behind. And so when those teams are great at that Ghost comp, they're future tellers as well. They know exactly when these ultimates are going to come. I'm going to use Grab because I know that Zenyatta has Transcendence on the other side.
Exactly. Went to Psychic School, shaking those magic 8 balls, trying to figure out what the enemy team is up to. Gods, though, taking the old-fashioned route, just poking his head into the spawn and seeing no surprises here. It's going to be Goats once again for NRG on their attacking round. Gladiators Legion also not switching anything up. So the same mistakes or same tendencies may hold once again here. We're going to need to see Panker be very careful with that charge. He's been liberal before in the past, and Gladiators also going to really need to be giving him that resource to stay alive, because every kill here is magnified by 10 times due to that potential for overtime.
We are at the 2-minute warning for NRG Esports, but this thing will be going to overtime by the end of it if Gladiators Legion has anything to say about it. NRG Esports can lose a couple fights, but the more they lose, the further ahead Gladiators Legion gets on that ultimate advantage. Smek's below half health right now, but without confirming that DMAC, you're just going to feed the supports an ultimate charge. And now Ezire's going to try to get in front of the Reinhardt. Far taken very, very low as well. Stand 1 is low. 2, Pooks has already used that Ampet up, so it's not going to be available for the speed or the heals. Gladiators Legion are in a defensive position right now. NRG is able to stand in front of the payload and attack them and try to get ultimate charge themselves. Kevster still has, they're very close to that Graviton Surge. So is Dalton. They're pretty much even here. The shield dash cooldown has been initiated from both sides. Transcendence now coming from Gladiators Legion. That is a fast one, but they're not going to have that one for the next fight. NRG Esports now only have a minute and 11 seconds to get back on at this payload without stand 1. NRG Esports doesn't have a team comp right now.
Ooh, and without a mech, Smek's not going to be able to rejoin the fight. This is actually crucial. He's going to have to go back to spawn, either throw himself off of the cliff or just switch to a different hero, reset all of that ultimate charge. He's going to take the long dive, but that does mean more time off of the clock. NRG have one more shot here. Even though it was a heavy investment with that Transcendence, Gladiators Legion were being pushed back. They were under so much pressure. They were circling the wagon, circling the fountain, as it were, trying to use the environment to block some of that incoming damage. So something had to happen, and that Transcendence was worth it. Pook's going to be close to that sound barrier as well for Kevster's Graviton Surge.
A lot's going to happen in this next fight as both teams will have 6 and 5 ultimates respectively. Kevster has that Graviton Surge. Earthshatter has been launched. Graviton Surge from the Kevster has not so far. Rallies from both sides. They're waiting for the opportunity. Graviton Surge does get all of Gladiators Legion, but they do have that sound barrier damage, and without the shield, because Panker is dead, Far's going to go down as well. NRG Esports ahead on this fight. Sound barrier invested just so they can grab this 4th point. There's not a lot of distance after this 4th point for NRG Esports to take and sweep Gladiators Legion here. There was a draw. Overtime has started. This will be where we are, at least for one more fight.
Yeah, the cart does pause slightly as it makes its way through this gateway, so Gladiators Legion going to have one more shot. They need to muster their forces. This has to be the biggest, bigger bang combo that Gladiators Legion have ever launched. Gods, we know he is well capable of placing 3K self-destructs, and it needs to happen.
Far needs to get an amazing shield dash onto stand 1, and stand 1's going to have to be looking for that, but Far on the ground's not going to give him that shield dash. Transcendence forced out on both sides, so everyone is going to be healthy. Graviton Surge is going to be launched from Gladiators Legion. Here is that bigger bang. Is it going to be that triple kill? No, it will be just a single kill on Halo, but this could spell the end for NRG Esports here at the end game of Dorada. Specs is going to be DMAG. Armor not going to be available for the rest of NRG Esports as well. Without Specs in that mech, there's not going to be a lot of beef. Now Rally going to be coming down from Gladiators Legion, so there's going to be some damage mitigation on their side, and it looks like Gladiators Legion are going to win Dorado and lose this game 2-1 against NRG Esports. This is the 2nd week in a row that they've lost 2-1, so that's actually really, really helping that map win-loss differential in the end. But hey, we do have a winner, and that is NRG Esports.
Yeah, big congratulations to NRG Esports. Even though they made everything look so incredibly easy with their clean plays, that calculated precision in every team fight, Gladiators Legion were able to, put a little bit of a band-aid on that wound, picking up Dorado. Actually interesting, I just want to point out that last week as well, up against Envy, Gladiators Legion lost this series but did pick up Dorado. Oh wait, no, actually it was the other way around.
Yeah, it was the other way around.
No, it was a Trill with that Earthshatter.
Yeah, if Envy only plays Dorado, they are undefeated. And so
we got to look at the rules. We got to look at the rules.
So NRG Esports are going to take this 2-1 off the back of some good play. I want to say, hey, Byram, you played very, very well. There are opportunities for him to frag out but you really have to congratulate the tanks. You said earlier today, this is not quite a DPS meta. It's not a DPS meta.
No.
So you need to build around those tanks. They're so important, and I think one group of tanks played better than the other.
Yeah, I would say consistency is on the side of NRG. Just overall, you saw a lot of really good combos, shield bashes to set up Earth Shatters, great Earth Shatter into D.Va's self-destruct kills as well. And while we did shout out Panker multiple times for being a standout player on the side of Gladiators Legion, it was not quite enough to bring up, you know, all to make up for the other misplays potentially from the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, so there were some layering of ultimates from both teams, but they had clean fights on both sides. And NRG Esports has had them more frequently. Like going all the way back to Lijiang Tower, winning both rounds 100-0. They took a ton of momentum, and I really want to congratulate Gladiators Legion for not really letting that take advantage of themselves mentally. They do lose this 2-1, but that's close. Again, map win-loss. That's super, super important. Of course, they want to be on the other side of this, but in terms of playoffs, they're still, you know, they can still be in control of their own destiny.
Oh yeah, no, they're still alive in this competition, and it's a credit to all of these veteran players like Gods, Pooks, right, Rolf, Panker. These are all names that we remember stretching back to like Apex, the original Cloud9. So even though it was a very hot, hard-fought series, it's true, they didn't let it go to their heads. Both of these teams playing at 100%.
So that's going to be it for Game 1 with NRG Esports taking down Gladiators Legion at 2-1, but we aren't done for today. We still got 2 more, and our next one's going to be Sky Foxes versus XL2. We'll see you soon for that one.